This video is the reconstruction of the Zundapp Combinette 428. It's a 1961 model, and all the parts that I sent to the powder coater have come back. Mudguards, the front swing arm, petrol tank. The petrol tank will need a small bit of work. There's quite a few little dents in it, but inside is in pretty good condition. I'm after getting some of the parts that I required as well. Cables have come. Bearings for the engine, seals, new spokes, new stand. Now I've had a lot of trouble trying to get a stand, and I purchased this one. I actually purchased two of them, but I know the other one is definitely wrong, so I'll have to try and resell it. This one looks to be reasonably close to what's required, but I may have to alter that top section there slightly to make it fit. New petcock, new petrol cover, wire for the wiring harness, these little things for the swing arm, and a new dynamo section with the lights, starter and points, and the condenser in it. So that's it. The next thing to do now is to start reassembling. I have the swing arm of the Zundapp Combinette 428 here now, and I'm putting on the suspension units on the bottom, which go in there, and I'm just getting them all ready according to the book. And we have 3962, which are the two springs, and 3963 are the rubbers, which are inside already. 3965 are these two fellas here. 3965s, 3958s. I don't know what they are. 3958s are O-rings, so I'll have to get two of those. 3961 and 3954 are the two suspension units, and I've got I put new units in because they were worn. 3966, 3967 are the bolts. 3967 and 3968 is this little spacer which goes with the long one. I think it was on it anyway, so it must be for it. These are the nuts at the end. These are attached on here when you're inserting it in here, and they sit back there. Those screws go out through them, and these rings go there, like so. So there's four of those, two on each. These are some sort of a way then of compressing the springs. If you want more tension on the springs, they go in there and they go up there into it then, like that. And these are the two nuts that go on the end of them to hold them in place. 3957, an M8 by 1M. So that's what they are. So I've got to put all that together now. Now I have one in there. I'm not 100% sure that I'm actually right. I remember on the video when I was doing the disassembly, as far as I can remember, the one with the little collet was at that side, but I'll have to double check it now before I go any further. difficult enough operation. It's taken me the bones of a 20 minutes I'd say to get it in, because when you're putting this thing down you've got to keep these things in place. I'm using grease on them to try and keep them in place, but you've got to get them all the way down to the bottom where the two holes are there, and there's protrusions sticking out which is pushing them off. And what you have to do is you have to put the spring in first. I tried doing it with the spring out, but you can't do it. So you must put the spring in first. You must prise it up slightly then to try and get the fat section there down, and then you have to get it down and hopefully get it in place. So as I say, I have one done. I think it's 100% right, but again it's only a matter of changing the bolts, hopefully. I'm not sure as well if this is the way it should be turned out, like this. The other one at the other side goes like that, with that protrusion sticking out as well. So I'll have a look at the video of dismantling just before I go any further. Now I've got the second one in, and you can see the pin there, the way it pushes the spring up. Same at the other side. Well, what does that is this screw unit here screws in. I have it set now at a fairly strong level, so it takes a bit of fiddling to get them in, to keep the little collars in place as you go down, but when I had it in, I kind of prised it a little bit with a screwdriver, and it managed to get it out. And then you need to put a screwdriver in the hole and try and prise this down to get it into the position to get the bolt through. So that's it. It's difficult, but great when you can achieve it. And I checked the video when I was dismantling, and this section is on the outside, so that's correct now. And as far as I know as well, when I was doing it, when I was stripping the bike, I think the big screw is at this side, or the big bolt with the collar on it, and the other one is at this side. This is it now, turned upside down. So, but anyway, it will be easy to change them if they're incorrect. So that's the suspension part of the front swing arm done. Now I'm just going back to the swing arm there, because I left out two items yesterday, and these are these rubber shocks that go inside. I was after forgetting about them, and I was wondering what the holes here were for. These I had to take off the kind of a rivet that was on it, and there's a little metal piece inside in the rubber there. They're special rubbers. I don't know how I'm going to fix them back in position. This is the metal piece that came out of this one here. There was two little kind of rivets on them, and they come out through the holes there. So it looks as if I'm going to have to try and fit them somehow. So I'm going to have to take them off again. I've installed the two rubbers there now, and I didn't have to take the whole unit out. You just need to take off the tensioning bolt, and that loosens the whole thing up, so you can then push them in. I've put pop rivets on them as best I could to hold them in place, so with the tension and everything on the spring, they should stay in position. Now I'm just after putting on the lower. This takes one of the ball races, the small one in actual fact, and the small one is shown in the book as being at the bottom, 4613, and there's another one on top which is a bigger one, so I'm going to put that in there now as well. I have to tap it in with the hammer. Well, a rubber mallet or something like that is what I'll use. Now I'm working on putting the swing arm onto the main frame. I have these two cone sections that hold the ball races installed, and I've installed the bottom ball race, which is the smaller of the two. I think that's correct because this ball race fits better into this one here, and that goes at the top. Right, so I'm going to put that now. I've put grease. I've put grease on there and I've greased there, so I'm going to put it up through it there now. I might be able to do it holding the camera, we'll see. Now that's it, I'm after sliding it up through the frame there. Everything seems to be fine there, it's swinging anyway. So now I must put the ball race on top here. Which is this fella. Now I'm not sure which way it goes. I'll try it that way. It seems to work pretty good. Okay. The next thing to put on is this race. Right, I'll just give that another bit of a tighten up there now, and we can continue then after that. Right, that's the lock washer in place there now. The next thing to put on is actually this headlight, which goes on there. Well, it would if I put it on right, of course. So that sits down like that, and the next thing to do is to put on this washer. Goes on there, and the final lock washer on top, I must just clean it off a bit. And when that's on, those bolt holes there must line up so that bolts can be installed in there. I must check back on the video, or actually I might check the book just to see what bolts go in there. I'm putting the handlebars now on next, and these are the component parts here. Earlier I was talking about bolts that go through those holes there, and they actually hold these in place. These go down there like so, and the handlebars sit on them, so the holes must line up there. Now I've got to clean them off, and these are the top sections. This is the handlebars. This is number 4606, which is a horn cover, and on this bike there was actually no horn. It's a bell is on it, so that's the way it's going to go back. Right, so 4624 are the two big pieces. 4628 and 4630 are the two top sections, and 20264 are the bolts. If we can see what number they are. M6 by 35s. Now I don't have, these are the original ones. I don't know if I'll use them or not. I was going to use these stainless steel ones, which I think I actually will use, and these are the bolts at the side for holding the lamp, which is 4632. 4632 or M8 by 25s. Now I'm going to replace them with stainless steel ones, and I'm actually going to put spring washers and ordinary washers to make up the thickness of these washers. Be slightly bigger, but it'll be a better job. So I must clean all these off now first before I can attach it. Now this is the one of the supports. The other one is on there. So this is the way it goes on. Same at the other side. And this 8mm bolt goes through. I've just temporarily put the top sections on just to have them in place. So the other bolt at the other side. So I'll just tighten those up now, and then I'll put on the handlebars. Now I'm going putting on the handlebars there. Excuse the noise if it can be heard. It's lashing rain as usual. So the handlebars go on there like so, and then I'll screw these two units down on top of them. So these top bolts are 10mm, so I'll just tighten them down there now onto it. Now that's the handlebars tightened down. It hasn't gone all the way right down to the top of the thing. I'm not sure if I should take it off and just put a washer in there. I think I might just to close up the gap, but they're very tight anyway. Just after cleaning off the lifting handle there now, which is number 4501. It's probably on the page before this. There it is, and there's a spacer, number 4582 is a spacer. These are shake-proof washers, and there's a long kind of a bolt on one side and just an ordinary nut on the other side. So I'm going to put that on there now. It goes on at this side. So this is the way it goes on. This bolt is on the left and the nut is on the right hand side, so it goes on like that. And at the other side then put on the spacer and the spring washer. Right, I've just turned it sideways there to make it easy to put it in. I'm holding the handle with my other hand. I've just put on the two spacers. Now I must put on the two shake-proof washers. Now I have the two shake-proof washers installed. The small nut at this side and the big nut at the other side. Now, and the reason that the long bolt is at that side is because the cover screws down into that. I've just put in the screw in there. I cleaned it off. It's held inside there with one of those spring washer kind of things, and it screws down into that. So I just have to tighten them now first before I install that and put in the tool kit. Now I have the tool kit in, and I'm just putting on this cover. Goes on like so. That's it. Now I'm just after putting the seat post into the top section there. That goes on there. That gets bolted down there. And on this little section here. I have this little fella here, I have it sorted. So I don't know what this area is for. There's a nice bit of area there, but you have to take off those bolts to get at it. Anyway, I'll be attaching that on there now next. I must just check the size of bolts to install there. I must tighten up this bolt first that holds it in position. There are several different holes on the shaft itself that you can set it to different levels. Now I'm just installing this covering section here. I've attached the that little unit there that opens and closes, and this is attached with two 6x25 bolts. So just screw that down, and that one. I put spring washers in there as well, just to make sure that it doesn't come off. So I'll just tighten up them now and finish it off. So that's what it looks like now at the moment. I've put on the bell as well. I have put on the speedo there, but only temporarily. Now I'm putting on this front section here. It attaches to, holds the mudguard in place, and it attaches on there with 5x12mm bolts. I'm just after cleaning them there with the taps, just to clean them out. So I'm going to attach them there now with 5x12 bolts. Now I'm just attaching that horn cover there. I think there should be some sort of a plastic cover on it when there isn't a horn on the thing, but in any event I'll decide later whether I'll put a horn in or not, and I can take it off again. Now it's attached with self-tapping screws, 4 of them. I'm using these ones here. They're about 15 to 20 mil. They're probably a bit too long, but that's all I have. Now I'm just putting on the mudguard here. Front mudguard. And it sits there, 2 M6x12s and 2 M6x12s here to tighten it on there. There's another hole down. There's another hole down there, which is part of the number plate setup. I'll get to that later. I'll just put on these here, the 2 M6x12s and the 2 M6x12s here with spring washers attached. Now that's the front mudguard in position there. The next thing I'm going to put on now is the carrier, which is here. Now the carrier, 342 are M6x15s, and there's 4 of them, and spring washers as well. Okay. Sits down like that. Now I better retread the holes, because the powder coating bungs up the holes, so I better retread them first. So to unbung the holes and get the screw thread running right again, you have to use the tap with M6, with an M6 tap on it. My set has 3 different 6s. There's the starter one, the medium one, and the finishing one. A lot of sets don't have 3 of them, so I'll just do the 4 of them now before I put on this this carrier. Now that's the saddle in place. Oh, sorry, I said the carrier. My apologies. I was after putting on the rear mudguard there, and I had to take it off again because the rear swing arm must go on first before the mudguard goes on, because it must go in here under this section here, and the mudguard is attached there and goes down there, so you have to put on the swing arm first. I've cleaned off this piece here, which goes on there like that on the chain case, and I've got the two brackets that must be riveted. There's a whole pile of holes and it must be riveted back on, so I've cleaned it as best I can, and these are the two brackets here that I've painted there earlier on. So I'm going to put them on there now. I must rivet them on with reasonably small rivets. Now I have all the rivets on both sides there. I have one already installed, so I'm just going to pop all of those now. Now this is the swing arm finished off, and it goes on before the rear mudguard, so it'll be going on there now like that, and that's the bolt there for it, so I'll put on the bolt there now. Now it's in place right through to the other side, and that's the bolt on the end of it at the other side, so it moves up and down. That's all good, so now I can put the mudguard back on. I had it on earlier, but I had to take it off because you have to have this on before the rear swing arm on before you can put on the... Now I've just installed the rear taillight there. I cleaned it off and attached it. There's just one bolt going through, and it's a 5mm, and it attaches onto the mudguard there. I'm going to put on the Zundapp's sticker now that goes there at the back. Now that's the Zundapp sticker emblem put on there. I've just tightened up the speedometer there, and I've installed the speedometer cable, and it goes down along the frame there and into the engine. It doesn't work on the front wheel at all, it works off of the engine. I'm just putting on the brackets for the front number plate, which I'm after making up there, and it's just two of them. There's a bolt already in it, and it goes in underneath, and that's one of them. That's the other one. So I must drill out the holes because they're too small for the bolts that I'm putting on. That's the number plate now in place, and that's the progress so far.